Hello, I'm Amy from Amy Curtis Fitness, and this is my mini core workout. It's something I might add on after the end of a run or after the end of a cardio session. So it's not a whole workout in one, it's just for the core. We're looking at the obliques and abs as well as the deeper core muscles. So hopefully we've covered all angles. And of course, I'm assuming you're already warm if you're adding this onto a cardio. So I'm not doing a warm up, we're just gonna go straight in. Okay, first things first, Russian twist. You can do this at different levels depending on how strong you feel in your core. So the sort of easiest level would be with your feet down. So sitting as I am now, you're just going to tuck the pelvis under a little bit and lean back and then hold the hands together, and you're just going to start twisting, sending the elbow to the mat behind you. So this is level one. If you feel okay and it's not going into your back at all, you can bring the legs up. So just taking them a little way off the floor introduces a little bit of instability and also a little bit more work holding my legs up. And then I'm going to carry on trying to touch the mat with my elbow. I'm going to try for 30. You might want to do 40, you might want to only do 10. Just work to your own level. And when you've done your amount, bring your feet down first and then roll back up to finish. Okay, next exercise is a plank. When you're doing your plank, I want you to think of it as a whole body exercise. You're not just propping yourself up with your arms. You're not just letting your shoulders take the brunt. It's happening in your whole body. So you need to really clench the glutes, the buttocks, clench the fronts and backs of your legs as well, and make sure everything's active. Everything's involved, and that's why I planked so hard. So we're going to set up with wrists directly below the shoulders and then lengthening the legs out. For this exercise, I would actually have my feet slightly wider just to give yourself a fighting chance of doing it well. Make sure the body is in a straight line, so you don't want your hips down too low and you don't want them hiked up either. So find that position, clenching the buttocks, clenching all the muscles in the legs, as well as pressing the hands against the floor, making sure you're even pressing your fingers against the floor. This is hard in itself. Then we're going to try to tap opposite shoulders with hands. And I'm really trying not to move my body at all. So I'm trying to keep it completely still. So my legs are actually working harder each time to stop my body swaying side to side as I take my hands off the mat. And then coming down safely onto my knees and sitting back to finish. I would aim to do maybe 10 on each side if you can. Build up to it or go past it if you feel that you're strong enough. But as I say, just use your whole body on it. Okay, next one is toe taps, and this is actually a Pilates exercise. It's really good for your deeper abdominals. You're going to be lying on your back and take your legs up into a double knee fold. Take them up one at a time, and that way the neutral pelvis that you got when you lay back down isn't disturbed. The angle in the knee doesn't change. You're taking a breath and you're just sending the toes towards the floor. You don't have to touch the floor, just going as far as you can without the pelvis coming off. So if the back of the pelvis feels like it's peeling off the mat, if that's at this point, then that's fine. Bring your foot back. You're not trying to get to the floor, you're trying to challenge yourself. And if your pelvis is starting to come up, then you're challenging yourself. Everything's happening from the hip. Knee angle not changing. Breathe out as the leg goes away, in to bring it back. Then take the legs down and roll onto your side to get back up. I'd be looking again at maybe 10 on each leg, but go to your own pace. Build up to it or build past it, depending on how you feel. Okay, we're back on our front for a bear crawl. We're going to get into a 4-point kneel. So same as the plank, you want your wrists to be directly below your shoulders and your knees to be directly below your hips this time. And you're just going to hook your toes around and take your knees off the floor. Now at this point you have 3 options. You can march your feet. Again, like the plank exercise, we're trying not to let the body sway from side to side. Alternatively, you can march your hands a little bit harder. Or, if you want even further a challenge, opposite hand and foot at the same time. You could do 10 feet, 10 hands, 10 of both together, varying it, or you could just go straight in, whichever one you decide is your level. Okay, classic crunch. It's not sit up, it's just a crunch. So you're coming down onto the floor with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent, and you're going to put your hands behind your head and just bring your elbows forward. But when you do that, you round your shoulder blades a bit, it makes it easier to curl up. So taking a breath, you're just going to nod the head and come up as far as the shoulder blades, or a little further if you can, and back down. That's all we're looking for. It doesn't make it harder necessarily to come up higher, it just introduces more scope for injury. If you want to make this harder, just slow it down. So you could do count up for 3, so 3, 2, 1, 1 count down, 3, 2, 1, 1 count down. You could reverse it, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, or you could count 3 counts up, 3 counts down, or even 4. So play with the speed rather than the range of movement on this one to really challenge your muscles. And that's your basic crunch. Okay, last one in this little mini workout is heel grabs. So back down onto your back with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent, and you're just going to lengthen your arms away towards your heels. And then come up into the crunch that you've just done. So it's just nodding the head and coming up to your shoulder blades. And then you're just going to crunch to the side, sending your hand towards one heel, and then to the other side, going as far as you can sideways. So of course, we're going after our obliques, our side muscles in our tummies. Keep going. I would probably do about 30 of these. So obviously 15 each side, not 30 on each side. But it's up to you how much you want to do, how many times a week you're doing them, how often, that sort of thing. With all of these exercises, just work to your own ability. You can always build, you can always take away, and just be careful, protect your back, and breathe out on the tough bits, and you should be fine.